Hello, pile number one, and welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. So we're going to be taking a look at what it is that you might be at spiritual war with. So we're going to touch on a description of who it is that you could identify yourself to be right now. And we're going to take a look at how the energy that you've been at spiritual war with has been affecting you or influencing you personally. And this will be what you can use to identify if the reading resonates with you or not, yeah? So let's go ahead and take a look. What are we taking a look at first? Let's use these cards. Sacred Wisdom of the Oracle. I believe these ones are. Right, guides, guardians, universe, energies, and service of the highest and greatest good of those who have come to view pile number one. I welcome you into this space and I ask that you please guide me with truth, clarity, and wisdom. Please grant me the ability to articulate your messages as accurately and as clearly as possible. Thank you so much. So as I was aligning to your energy, I was shown the crystal of selenite, and I was shown the number 21. 22 was in green and 1 was in black. So I would say recently you guys have been gaining a lot of clarity and seeing past illusions. I would say you've been probably purifying yourself and also getting to the root base core behind the production of things. Was the way that the information was presented to me. I don't even understand. But what I also heard is you have been healing your vision of value. And I would also be saying that you guys have been healing the trust or faith you have within yourself to be able to approach the unknown through the opportunities that are provided to you. Because with 1 being in black, that tells me that you guys have been empowering yourselves, learning your strengths, learning what you need to protect yourself from, setting better boundaries, and getting very committed or becoming very devoted to one's life direction, devotions, choices. With divine consciousness being here, this is telling me that you guys have been denouncing your fears, releasing your fears. And releasing yourself from attachments to people, especially roles in careers, labels. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys have also probably been praying more or setting more intentions, talking more to God, source, or your higher self. This could also be talking more to your ancestors and asking them to lead the way. Pretty much. It's like a surrendering to the unfolding of what is becoming of you in your life path. Does that make sense? We have angel assistance. Yeah, this is just further clarifying what we're touching on here. I think you guys have been much more observant to symbology. Some of you guys have been studying the art of sacred geometry or the truth of mathematics in creation. So for some of you guys, some of you guys might be studying like quantum physics, metaphysical laws, sacred geometry, numerology, or astrology. Some of you guys might also practice in mediumship witnessing, which is the ability to connect to very high vibrating consciousness forces, sources, beings, higher vibrations within the possibility of the collective creations, you know. So I would say that you guys have been seeing really, really good possibilities within a lot of low vibrating situations, circumstances, or people outside of you as well, and they're coming through like visions or inspirations or daydreams. Your visionary abilities are starting to open up, and it's helping you to command the energy moving forward. Pile number one, if you've been working on redirecting your life path, this is also saying that that's coming into manifestation now. Your spirit team are helping you, and sources in support of the redirection of which you're going. If you've had a new career idea, a new inspiration, or an opportunity that has popped up where you're having to make a decision, you're being called to take a risk on yourself right now. So how is it that the energy around you has been affecting you? So you've been, honestly, you've been seeing the beauty within the darkness, or all things that have been deemed as bad or unworthy within yourself. You've been learning to communicate yourself much better so that you can feel as though people are able to understand you or relate to you. You're speaking through your empathy, and that's reaching the hearts of people with a hummingbird being here. You're showing people how to see things from a different perspective. Say, for example, tainted self-image. You're helping people to see what it means to be flexible when partnershiping with the self, envisioning the self, understanding the self. You're helping people to learn what it means to be softer, to be more nurturing, to be more honest, and feel comfortable with their own vulnerabilities. And that's something that a lot of people don't usually like, because within the time where we gain perspective over our vulnerabilities, we usually recognize that we are the master creators of our pathways. And when we recognize that we are the master creators of our pathways, we come to a realization that nothing outside of us is to blame for the way it is that we internalize, personalize, or perceive what takes place outside of us, that then propels us, or drives us, or motivates us, or conditions and programs the subconscious mind. Does that make sense? So you guys have been within yourself detaching from labels or misfired judgments upon self, attachments and roles and definitions that don't reflect who it is that you authentically are at a baseline level. You're also showing people what it means to do this and to grow independent within themselves, to learn what it means to use what they have deemed as bad in positive ways, which transforms the vision and the understanding and the power of what you are recognizing. You see, so yeah, you're seen as very, very magical right now, or at least you might feel as though you're a magical energy, because yeah, what I just heard was abracadabra, look out, which means be careful on what you wish for. This is also telling me that you guys could be at a spiritual war with a witch, a warlock, or someone who's been performing intimate forms of magic on you. This is the spiritual war that you guys are facing right now. You would have already had signs, signifiers, suspicions of someone setting spells on you, even though you might not exactly know who it is. It's coming through evil eye and also sex magic is what I just heard. This person doesn't mean any offense to you. It's for the majority. These people aren't doing things on purpose. So this is someone like your ex, doing funny business at nighttime, thinking of you, pile a number one. Or this could be like a secret admirer, intensely thinking about you and experiences with you, and as a result in the energy you're experiencing the telepathy or the energy exchange from that, and that's what's making you feel icky. If you've been feeling little tugs in your root or sacral chakra, that's what that is. It's sex magic. If you've been feeling heart pain at random times, or feeling like heavy energies, or even feeling like you've been burping more and it's coming from your heart center, it's the release of attachments to your past, things that have weighed heavy on your subconscious mind, that has influenced your thought patterns without you maybe consciously recognizing it. This is shadow work that you guys have already been doing, but the aftermath effects of releasing the memories of being in a way of thinking and behaving and perceiving for so long, you're just proving to yourself your own commitments to your pathway right now. And this is helping to strengthen your self-faith, your self-trust, your ability to self-accept through your choices, and building confidence in your ability to make the best choices for yourself moving forward. So the watch out message was to do with be careful what you wish for, because you will reap exactly what you sow. So before you ask for experiences, contemplate the positives and possible negatives that can come out of it, and then ask yourself if you really do want what you are asking for. Contemplate how it will have a ripple effect on other areas of your life, and this will help you to tap into the truth of what it is that you say you are desiring. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what it is that you are at spiritual war with right now. For pile number 1, we have the World card. You're at spiritual war with the end of cycles, with change. This is not spiritual warfare. This is a spiritual conflict within self. You're fighting with better ways of living compared to living in ways that you're comfortable with and that you feel safe with living, because you know the potential downfalls of what you're in, which makes you feel secure and safe because you're prepared for those downfalls. Whereas if you were to move forward in the direction that you feel driven to, pile number 1, you're going to move into the unknown, which expands you. That is where you meet that's where you meet what you're unprepared for. That's where you are tested. This is where you can put into practice the skills you discover within yourself, so that you learn more about the strengths and how they evolve and advance. We also have the 3 of Wands. Okay. So, fighting delays as well. You guys feel like you are meeting delays because you guys have been focusing on trying to manifest a specific way of change, and this is where the conflict is coming from. This is what you are at war with. Yes. So I see you guys are wanting to step into the change, but you're wanting to step into the change in a controlled way. That is the block. What you're being called to do is to embrace the unknown with a sense of wonderment and self-discovery, being motivated by genuine curiosity. This releases your need to fear. This releases your need for concern. This releases your need for worry. If you are in touch with the basics of yourself and the basics of your foundations, and you feel solid and secure, and you feel as though you've collected as much information as what you could to be detailed, prepared, know that you're being called to take action with what you are being provided with now, without the need to control how you are going to create change moving forward. Instead, change is happening for you, in front of you, and with you. The challenge is releasing the resistance you have to approach the unknown with the strengths it is that you know that you have. In the unknown is where you can, it's when you meet your so-called deficits, things that pop up where we usually deem them as deficits are usually opportunities for us to learn how to use something within ourselves in the best possible way. They don't come up to stop us. They come up to show us what we still have yet to better, so that we can use the gift of, or the wisdom of, or the knowledge, experience, so on, later. And this is where a little bit of an intimidation is by the number 55 and 38 here. You're intimidated by your authentic truth right now. And that's because you're extending, you're going to be committing to yourself and what you say you truly value, what you say you truly are, and who you say you are. And that means you're going to have challenges that meet your core values, your perceptions, and your belief systems. So you staying adaptable and flexible with the hummingbird totem that came out is what's actually going to help propel you and stay 10 steps ahead of challenges before they occur. And this is a natural strength within yourself as you are discovering a solution to the delays. So what is the main challenge in what they are at conflict with? What is the main challenge for them? We have the Page of Wands, your inspirations and passions. It could also be your impulses, with number 2 being here as well, and number 11 with Saturn in Aries, because that talks about us disciplining our impulses and learning the importance of responsibilities within the circumstances that we find ourselves in. So with the Page of Wands being here, this is saying that the challenge is not to be swept away by your inspirations and passions too soon without there being solid creation behind the ideas. just know you're going to get a lot of fleeting inspirations and a lot of fleeting passions and a lot of fleeting desires. Write them down and save them for later, because they will come of use to you later. If you don't, you're going to find yourself repeating self-reflections later on and feeling like you're on a repeating cycle when you're not. It's just that things are reoccurring at the times that you need them, and that's why they keep popping up. Whereas if you restore and record them down for yourself to refer back to later, you're going to give yourself different inspirations at different points of your own advancement or development process, and you'll find how these ideas and inspirations that will flood you when you feel like you can't approach them will end up being like the missing key to certain development points that are to follow in the very near future. Like your manifestations, the things you have been working on and the things that you are desiring are going to happen, but they're not probably going to happen in the exact way that you have been possessing the idea of it happening. That's where the control basis is being tested, where you're being asked to renounce your need to control so that you can allow things to grow naturally and happen for you, so that you can then use what is happening for you in the best possible way to then create the desire it is that you truly hold. Does that make sense? Now, the circumstance of life might not support the ideal, but the small things that you do will contribute to the biggest outcomes later, is what this is advising. So what is it that you are encouraging them to embrace more of that will help them to move outside of these challenges or this delay? We have number 19, number 2, which is the Two of Swords, and Jupiter in Cancer. So the advice is to be emotionally honest with yourself and understand that you're going through emotional advancements. Your empathy is going to be much more disciplined moving into the future, or at least these are the lessons that you are going through. And what you're being encouraged to continue to do is be honest with yourself. The things that confuse you, it's because you're missing details. And if those details are not available to you at the time, write down what is confusing you and come back to it later. Don't dwell on it, because you will enter into an energy of stagnancy or procrastination will be what it feels like. Though it's not procrastination, it's a self-block, because you're focusing on things that can't grow you or has no positive movement in that time of focus. So the awareness is handy, but the dwelling is not, and this is what you're separating. Another thing is to take action on yourself rather than overthinking things or over preparing yourself. Do what you can with the time it is that you have, and you'll feel like you've achieved so much more by the end of the day. Rather than pondering on what you should be doing, do. You know what I'm saying? The intellect is there to help you to build. It's not to tell you what to build and how to build. That is discovered in the trial and error process of creation, that is then learned from and adapted. Does that make sense? That's the mindset I see you guys stepping into, with this being the guidance, and that is the energy that I feel you being supported by in the energy. So this is also talking about reprioritizing your focuses, and this is what's going to help you to bring order to the conflict within self of, do I move forward or do I stay doing what I'm doing? If you have been at contemplation, something else that might help you with the number 19 being here is asking yourself what is going to lead you into the better living. What is present to you that will help lead you towards the outcome you are hoping for. Not the vision itself, but the feelings of the outcome you are looking for is what's important. Not the envisionment of the experience, because that will come through in a fulfilling way the more you are true to the emotion or the impact or the extended goal. Does that make sense? So for example, if you are someone who is wanting to do things like an occult practice and, I don't know, or grow on social media, or grow a project, or grow an organization, or even grow your own business, that the mindset is to contemplate and reprioritize what moves you towards the fulfillment of the feeling, because that is where the true fulfillment comes from, not from the fulfillment of what the experience looks like. And that's the mindset I see you shifting in perspective too. All right, so what will they discover about themselves if they follow this advice? What you'll discover is you have the ability to overcome any obstacle that you have once perceived to be in your way. You'll also break outside of limitations that others have attached to you, or limitations that others have deemed to be set in stone, that aren't set in stone because it's dictated by the individual. So you're breaking outside of instability to create stability for once, is what I just heard. Sorry. Perhaps you had built stability for others for so long, and now you're starting to refocus, recollect, reground and recenter at what is truly important in the long run. And you're building towards the future, whereas a lot of people around you are building for the satisfaction of the moment and then wondering why they are left without nothing later on. You are not these people, and that's where the conflict is coming, that is being shown in the people that are outside of you. If you've been having conflicts within your communities, they're living for the moment, not for the tomorrow life, whereas your mindset and your energy is in alignment with the tomorrow life, and that's what you're building towards. So don't be distracted by what, you know, the shiny things right now, because they're not important. Say, for example, if you're growing your business or you've got a platform and you're wanting to grow your platform, there could be a lot of other people who are doing less work than you and getting more rewards. They won't be there for long because it's not secure. They're living for the moment, not for the future life and not for future people. Whereas those of you who are doing craft-based services, if you focus on the betterment of equality within the people, you are building for the future life, which makes you sustainable with the test of time. Do you see? And that can be applied in any goal. Don't take example from people outside of you. Take experience and take knowledge, but don't take example, because the example can only be experienced in a unique way to how you uniquely recreate who it is that you are, in what it is that you do, by what it is that life provides you. If you follow this advice, you'll feel much safer, much more protected. You'll see how the situation that you're in is actually serving you rather than happening to you, if you've had that mindset. And you'll see how it's offering you a lot more gifts, a lot more relaxation, and a lot less stress, is what I just heard. You'll deburden yourself and allow yourself the permission to rest and regenerate and gather and enjoy the sweetness that is around you in life, rather than being distracted by all that weighs your vision or tempt your vision and experience away from the sweetness that is surrounding you, and that is you see. So those are the messages I have for you today, pile number one. I hope this has come a positive service to you. Thank you so very much for stopping by, and with all that being said, until next time, bye. Pile number two, hello and welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be doing a spread that is based on what people assume about you versus a baseline truth as described or provided by Spirit. This was the energy that I felt for your guys' spread. And 2 seconds here, I'm just going to connect to your guys' energy. Guides, guardians, universe, energies in service of the highest and greatest good, I welcome you into this space. And I ask that you please provide me with truth, clarity, wisdom. Please grant me the ability to articulate your messages as accurately and as clearly as possible. Thank you. I keep seeing the lion and the turtle totem. Now, this is to do with your overall baseline energy. What I'm being told here is that you guys are becoming a leader in the field that has been most meaningful to you. You guys have been stepping into the spotlight, or will find yourself stepping into the spotlight after a time of personal development or personal growth. You guys are also upgrading from, it's like you're being placed into an upgraded position with either your work, your business or your most recent goals, investments. So for example, this could even be reflected in your family's dynamic. So for example, if you are like a step parent, I see you being given a lot more respect by the children, and getting closer and bonding at a deeper level with children around you, if you are like a step parent. If you are someone who is even just working to get closer with their family members, or have been working through family member issues, or family things, I see that being resolved and a lot of heavy burdens being lifted, because I felt like a light-headed feeling kind of flow over me, which made me feel like you guys are going to be releasing a lot of family patterns that were situational. What? I don't even know what that means. Sorry, why do I? Maybe they were circumstantial. I think circumstances are going to be shifting due to conscious contribution in situations, and it has like just changed the perspective of people around you, whether this be like your family, your community, your work life, I don't know, the group of people that you've been involved with. Their ideas of you are no longer the same, and I think a lot of people have recognized or realized that they don't really know you as much as they thought they did. Okay, so what people are assuming about you. No. Sorry, going back to the overall energy, they're also saying that you guys have been overcoming a lot of your fears. You've been defeating a lot of your inner demons, working through them, I just heard. And I think you guys don't see your demons like what you used to. You don't see them as evil, malicious entities. You see them as aspects that seek true meaning, understanding, or healing. And I also think you recognize this within other people outside of you. Yeah, there's certain issues where you've probably seen a lot of misunderstanding or mistreatment. And it was an outstanding issue for you. It was causing a lot of mental illness. Wherever your focuses were, they were bringing you down. The way that you were thinking about the focuses that you've had have been very defeatist for you. And I think you had seen how a lot of those defeatist thoughts were harming you. And I think you have been working on them, which in turn has reflected in ways of an analogy that we'll use, defeating your demons. Me, I see it as alchemizing the energy. I don't see demons present here, truthfully. Not saying that they're not real, because they are very, very real. But that this isn't as dark as what some of you have deemed or seen yourselves as. And I really do need to tell you that. A lot of you guys are very harsh on yourself and think very lowly of yourself. And this is something that is transforming. And this is something that I think you've been realizing about yourself. So I really want to congratulate you and empower you and send you big energy cuddles, because it's a humble path. Pile number 2. And a humble path is not an easy path. It's not. The path that you're on is not easy and has not been easy. And I recognize that and I validate that for you. And I really want to thank you for what you do, because there's a lot of things that you battle behind the scenes that most others don't see within you. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it is that other people are assuming about you at this time. Pile number 2, please. Thank you. A lot of people see a smile on you, so a lot of people see you and assume that you're very, very friendly, very, very open. A lot of people actually think that you've got a lot of time, when I don't think you do. I think you just respect people's time. And in turn, people don't consider what you're putting aside or what you're sacrificing to fully be present with people outside of you. What are people assuming about those who are viewing poem number 2? We have the Hierophant and the Magician. People are assuming that you're very, very set in your ways of being, in your ways of understanding, in your actions and in your goals or focuses or orientations. People think that you are highly devoted to your own spiritual crafts, your spiritual understandings, your teachings, or what you have been taught about spirituality, with the moon being in Pisces here. Number 72. This is telling me that people also see and assume that you are not taking things into consideration that you should. This is what people are assuming, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true, because I see you as someone, the King of Cups. It's funny because I was actually getting the Emperor's energy, so the King of Cups to come out makes sense to me. So you guys are actually very highly emotionally intelligent, very supportive people, very understanding people. You are sorts of people who like to bridge consciousness between different understandings as well. And I think you see the universal truths that are existent within patterns of commonality within others outside of you. So you'll find yourselves as people who can relate to very many different people. And what I'm seeing here is like a diamond that's being lit up by light. So that's telling me that a lot of people see and assume that you are very rare, that you are very precious, that you're a diamond. You know what I'm saying? People see you as a light and someone who brings a lot of understanding to emotionally confusing situations. People assume that you're someone who's had to do you've got a lot of responsibilities and that you meet them in very practical ways. People see you at times as stubborn, but they see you using your stubbornness to create results, not just for yourself but for people who depend on you too, like your parents, your people who are leaders of families, or you're very impactful, or you guys have very powerful voices because you speak when you speak with meaning. You don't speak to waste your time, and when you speak with very genuine reasons. And that's what people assume about you. They also assume that you're someone who has had to battle a lot of illusions, that you create a lot of clarity around misconceived understandings or misinformed conclusions or teachings or understandings, or like one-way minded thinking, even though your approach is very one-wayed, that works for you. You appear one-wayed, but you're really not. And this is something that some people are discovering about you. And I just keep hearing, you just know so much more than what I thought. You're so much more diverse than what I thought, is what people are saying. It's like perhaps you've started offering a new look into sides of you that you don't often wear on display, or that you embody, every day or all the time, or so loudly, because again, you're humble people. You're very compassionate people, very supportive people, and a lot of the time you bring out the light in others, yet you don't really have a lot of opportunities to shine because you're always so service-based to the burdens of others. And this is what people are also assuming about you, that there's so much more to you that you haven't embodied yet, that you will in time, once you no longer have the burdens of others weighing you down or distracting you from your own path. Okay, so what is the truth of you right now? The Lion just came out, so that makes sense. The truth of you right now is that you're learning to take leadership in your life, to lead your life. You're learning to empower yourself, to be your best friend. And you're learning about your own approach to your own hero's journey. You're no longer looking to be validated. You're not looking for superficial gains or means, and you're not motivated or driven by superficial things. You do what you do for very important reason, and you act when you know you need to. Otherwise, you take time out focusing on the things that you deem as important to you, and you sit behind the scenes, you observe and you collect information, you listen, and you're a silent leader. You do really nitty-gritty work behind the scenes that other people don't understand or haven't seen, and this is why they don't know the totality of you, pile number 2. You face and work through a lot of things on your own, in your own ways, and you self-discover along the way. I think you are individuals that don't have very many other people to talk to, you know, or to go to, or to seek advice or support from, or encouragement from, with the lion and the crocodile being here. But this is also saying this is because you don't need it. You are so independent. You are so self-sufficient, and you are silent powerhouses. You have so much potential within yourself that is still blooming within you, that you will only discover through living in the ways that you say and deem as appropriate, the way you wish to live, and the way that you wish to grow, and the way that your will intends to. And this is making your individuality stand out. This is making your originality stand out. You guys are very worldly. You're very cultured, you're very well-rounded, and you're very wide perceiving sorts of people. You're the types of people that think in abstract ways. You think in very meaningful ways, very deep ways. You are very much in touch with the subconscious mind, and you're very much in touch with the collective consciousness. With the turtle coming out here, did I say that at the beginning of this reading that I kept seeing the turtle and the lion totem? You guys are going to become spiritual leaders. You guys are going to become leaders in the field that you say is most important to you, that you keep being drawn back to without a doubt every single time. You're humanitarians. You come here with a larger purpose, but your investments and your energies and your efforts have been invested into very limited reaching areas. So now, over this next month, I see you guys being presented the opportunities that will allow you to expand your reach, and you're going to be much more fulfilled and trusting in the path that is unfolding for you. The universe and the energies that are going to be supporting you this month are going to be helping you to ground your higher self in to your present everyday moment, and you're going to feel so good about yourself. And as you're feeling good, you're going to attract in the energy that supports or aligns with that, you know. So I would say stay true to yourself, stay true to your path, and follow your instinctual guidance, because that is what is helping you to step into your leadership skills this month. You don't need a leader, you don't need a teacher, you don't need a mentor, you don't need advice. If anything, it will be important that you take into perspective other people's opinions and other people's experiences or knowledges of certain things and focuses, because it will help you to also expand the way it is that you perceive certain lessons that are experienced by many, but in very quiet ways. And in one way or another, you will help to bring these issues to the spotlight, create more awareness around them, and create or transform the distress that is in it and turn it into peace, with the turtle totem being here. That is a purpose that you are setting out on, and that is the truth versus what people are assuming. Those are the messages I have for you today. Thank you so very much for stopping by. I hope this has come a positive service to you. With all that being said, until next time, pile number 2, thank you so much. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be taking a look into a fabulous spread that I love to do. This is how the divine is describing you right now. So I would say that there are messages in here that you guys might need to hear that will help to encourage you, motivate you, or help you to have a realization about yourself that will empower you moving into the future life. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then perfect. You guys picked the pile for you. And I'm so excited to do this read. It's refreshing doing higher vibrating readings for me. Okay, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm excited. So some of you guys have been a little intimidated. I want to say some of you are scared of confronting the truths of yourself. The reason why you're scared is because you're holding a low value of self within yourself. It's a self-worth thing. I would encourage you guys to go and look into the wisdom of the solar plexus and also the sacral chakra. This will lead you naturally into the root chakra and also into the heart chakra. That will further lead you into the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown. There's an energy realignment or adjustment happening within you after a time of experiencing a consciousness shift. So, of course, things are much like a domino effect. When you knock over the first domino, the rest follow. That's what you're going through right now. You've knocked over a block, the rest are falling as you're becoming self-aware of how that block has had influence over you all your life, or effect on you and what you recreate in your life. Okay. So, guides, guardians, universe, energies in service of the highest and greatest good of those who have come to view pile number 3. There's a craft that you guys, a talent, a skill set that you guys have that you have put on the shelf, and I heard it's getting dusty. You're being called into positions this month that will encourage you to practice more in these talents, these skill sets, all this forgotten talent that you have, because it's going to restore or rejuvenate a certain joy within yourself, and it's going to help you to recharge your inner child. So if there are artists, musicians, practicing spiritualists, or there are just people who have something that they enjoy that they haven't been doing for a very long time, you're being called back into the basics of what re-energizes you. Pile number 3. Why have you been blocking yourself off from the things you love to do, is what I just heard. And it came through in a very genuine way of asking that question, but it was very like firm, which is why I had to emphasize the handy hand thing. You don't even recognize how magical you are, and that's the truth of the matter. Pile number 3. You don't recognize how magical you are. You are like a unicorn in a world full of moths. People who are illusionated, whereas you are very much awakened, very much clearly seeing, very much in the moment and in the present of things. And that's why you feel like this world is so crazy, because the world isn't not the majority of the world. They are not existing in presence, in moment, in groundedness, in reality. What we call reality today, presence, groundedness. And that's why you feel so apart from the rest, is because they are ignorant to the reality that is, whereas you are not. And that can be very hard, because you can't unknow what you know. You can't unsee what you are very clearly seeing. And in a world full of people who would rather be ignorant to the truth, because it releases their feelings of responsibility, whereas I feel like you adopt the feelings of responsibility. This is because you have a natural calling within you, a natural purpose, a natural reason for being here, and it is to point out the illusions, it is to point out the deficits, it is to point out what isn't working, so that you can illuminate the need for change. You are a catalyst. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at how it is that the divine would describe my pile number 3s to themselves. That you guys are divinationists. You are mirrors. You help point out the underlying truths that most don't want to see. You are truth seekers, truth confronters. You challenge you challenge what is limited, because you are expansive. Now, I would also say that you guys are very self-reflective. You guys could be quite introverted as well. You divinate and you see into the future consequence of things after delving into the truth of what is right now. I would also say that you guys bring a lot of karma, or at least understandings of karma, into this world. You're curse breakers, witch doctors, you are shamans, you are truth seekers, esoteric explorationists, light workers, with the owl coming out here, and star seeds. I would say with the owl totem being here. The owl totem is actually quite extraterrestrial because of the dimensions the owl has the ability to see into. If you observe an owl, they have the ability to turn their head which way they want to. That's to represent their ability to be able to see in different dimensions of existence from whichever certain perspective they choose to look at it. You are these sorts of people. You're very clairvoyant. You're very much in touch with the subconscious mind. You're very, very hard workers, and you work for the benefit of equality. You work for the benefit of the colony, the community, the family, the better and greater good that can be experienced. I also heard that you are the types of people who wish to bring out the best in others around them. You approach things slowly, but you approach things productively. You're very good at regenerating beauty in other people, self-reflection and understanding, and you're a very valued source to your community, your family, or your foundation. Your social status, you know, like the people you're acquainted with or associate yourselves with, you're very, very, you stand out. People don't forget you with the starfish, the owl, and the swan being here. And that's because the impact that you create on others is so very genuine. You are willing to go out of your way to do what you think is best for those that you love, and you enact from a place of love. You enact from a place of understanding, deep relatability, deep resonance, but you don't do things without reason. If anything, I would say that you probably get a little bit frustrated or like direct or very like you're the types of people to roll your eyes at things when people bring things up like that is without purpose, or that they do things without purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because to you it's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of investment, and it's just a waste. Like, why? You know, this is because you guys have divine connection. You see things from higher perspective, and you see that in the natural balance of the universe doesn't do anything without purpose, which means we should probably move in reflection to that, because within the natural law of the universe, we are a part of that natural law, which means the law also operates for us and through us, which means we should probably learn about it more, to be in flow more. You guys are naturally already attuned with this. You move to the beat of your own drum. You navigate your own life direction through self-awareness and divine direction. You're the types of people who will trust in your craft and your connection to your source, or your guides, or the energy, or the tool, more than you will listen to the living, the guidance of the experienced, or those who are fearful outside of you. This is because you know that the truth is a funny thing. You're very good at seeing into the hearts of individuals, pile number 3. And that means you're very good at accepting that truth happens on different degrees and different levels in different ways. And it can only be located in the heart of the individual. And you're very good at touching that and getting connected with that in other people outside of you. And that's what is something that is so very beautiful about you. It's a spiritual gift that you might not actually understand the true impact of. Your independence and your ability to want to see the best in everyone is a spiritual gift in itself. You seeing the goodness allows you to see the source that is in all, which means you are devoted to who we call God. No matter what you want to call it. It doesn't matter what you want to call it. We all inherently know that there is a higher force, a higher source, a higher entity, a higher being, a source of creation, or an origin. And that's what I'm referring to. And you are also like this. You don't really care about the beliefs. You see past the belief. You see past the ethical practices, and you see into the true heart of the individual, the authenticity. And that is what you are more likely to accept, rather than the personas, the appearances, or what people say. You look much deeper than that, and that's a gift. People say, well, at least the divine within the people that are around you say that you are someone who has a very genuine heart, that you are very safe to be around. People are able to be exactly who they are around you, whether you're a guru or not. Like, this is just an example. Say you could be a guru hanging out with one of the worst ex-criminals, and you will hold zero judgment for that person because you hold the space that allows them to bring out the best in them. You could be, I don't know, an ex-criminal working with the guru, giving the guru a different perspective of life. Neither is wrong. You know what I'm saying here? And you're very open to these sorts of dynamics. Life is not a competition to you, which means you're naturally protecting and shielding yourself from threat of other people who may come as competitive toward you, you know? So how would the divine describe pile number 3, please? They would describe you as natural leaders, very family-orientated people. Both of these totems are focused on family and building structure, legacies, long-standing stability, or sustainable incomes, financial freedoms. You guys would be focusing on building homes and things to leave behind for those that you love. You're very much respected in your group of family people, or you're very much seen as a necessity, a valuable person in your family, in your communities, in your work life. You're people who will do what is necessary to create achievement where it is seen as most beneficial, not just for yourself but others. You are most impactful when you are focusing on things that help not just yourself but others. You will leave behind a legacy. People will remember you even when you disconnect from them, because your presence is very pure, very true, and very rare, because you're authentic, you're original, you're individual. You have your beliefs, you stand 10 toes down, you mean what you say, and you say what you mean. You are who you are, and nothing's going to change that. So that makes you a very reliable source. It makes you someone who is very hardworking, very dedicated, and people can trust that you are who you are when you say you are who you are. There is no doubt of you and your abilities, your capabilities. You have a beautiful heart and you deserve the best of things. Pile number 3, you know. Your love is unmatched, by the way. It is something that is most beautiful about you. Pile number 3 is what I just heard with the hummingbird being here and the beaver. With the golden egg in the wolf, this is saying that you are creating something that is completely new. And it will be felt in very unique ways around you. And it's just by you being who it is that you are. You're unimaginable to the majority of people that cross you. Pile number 3, especially when you're an embodiment of your authentic self, because your connection to the divine, to God, to your practices is undeniable. And people can't fathom how you help others to navigate their own authenticity and get closer to themselves. Like, you're a hero in people's eyes, pile number 3. Even if that's on a small scale, like your children. That's all that's needed. To someone, you are an amazing leader, and you've created a lot of freedom for people. You've created a lot of understanding. And do you know what I just heard? What's that song? Imagine Dragons. I was broken from a young age, taking my soul into the masses, breaking my bones for the fear that looked at me, taking me straight to me. From heartache, from pain, taking my message for the rest. Seeing the beauty of the light. The words that I'm hearing is, it's just echoing now, so I'm guessing this is the main meaning of the message. You make me a believer. You made me a believer. Go and check out the lyrics to that song, Imagine Dragons, Believer. You guys are going to resonate with it completely different. It might even invoke some healing or self-realization for you guys. Spirit is saying that it's going to help you to open your eyes, is what I just heard, at the change you've created in the world around you. Look at what you're doing, the true impact of what you are doing. This is going to help to show you why you should continue doing what you do. Those are the messages that I have for you today, pile number 3. Thank you so very much for stopping by. I do hope this has provided some form of encouragement or support. Just know I'm extending some cuddles to you guys. I really, really am. And I really do mean it when I say that I believe in what you guys are doing. And so does Spirit. They want to keep encouraging you. Some of you guys have been not seeing the best results of your investments recently, but that is going to change this year. By June, you're going to be living a completely different life to what you are right now. And you're going to be so thankful for the process that you are moving through, especially when realizing the true value of who it is that you are. You are going through a transition, and that's why you're feeling a little shaky right now, pile number 3. But please don't be dismayed. This is why I'm doing this and giving this reading to you, is to help to remind you the path, the path to your heart. We'll say it might be cringy for some of you, but I truly mean it. You're learning about your multi-talents right now, and yeah, it's going to lead you to abundance, whether you see that right now or not. Those are the messages I have for you today. With all that being said, until next time.